Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be learning a new note. We're going to sing it and we're going to learn to write it. Before we do that, let's do some singing to review what we've learned so far. I'll sing a phrase and then will you sing it back to me and Mr. Roberts will sing with you. Here's the first one. La, so, mi, do, la.
La, so, mi, do, la.
La, do, mi, re, so.
La, do, mi, re, so.
Last one. Mi, re, do, la, so.
Wait a minute. So, down here, that must be low so. Probably not much of a spoiler alert. I think we've kind of covered the assumption when we covered high do and the octave and low la that any of these notes could be sung an octave above or an octave below the range that we normally have those pitches in. But we are going to cover low so just because this is actually a pretty important note and it's in a lot of songs. So just like we learned that do has a so, a fifth above it, we also have another so below do. In that case, that range will be a fourth below. So from a line to another line and an additional space. So let's just sing that one time. We're going to sing do, so, do, so.
Do, so, do, so.
And that's what it sounds like.
Great. Now we're going to move to some board writing, but before we do that, there are two quick things I want to teach you. The first is exactly where do we put this so. Mr. Roberts already talked about it with his words. I'm just going to show it quick on here. If this is our do, this second space right there, we remember la is a third below it. Do. There's low la. And then if you remember from up here, when we have la, so is just a second below it. So low so is right there. Low so. So do to the so under it is either going to be from a space to a line, or it could be from a line to a space. The second quick thing I'm just going to teach is sometimes when we're writing, if I want this to be my do, where does my so go? I need to go to a line, but there are no more lines, are there? Oh no! Well, lucky for us, we have things called ledger lines that extend the staff. I can just draw my own little line right there. That would be like the next line. It's an extension of the staff down. And put my note so right on that line. So this is a ledger line, this line. My note can either go above, that would be in the space, not using my marker very well, or you can draw a ledger line and have a note below it. So notes can go right on the line, they can go above in the space, or they can go below in the space. So now you know, you are going to need to use those ledger lines today. If you get your paper out, maybe write 5 lines on it. We don't really have a good ledger line trick for using your hand staff. I guess congratulations, you're becoming too much of a good musician to use your hand staff for all the notes you know now.
And one quick note too, just like Georgia mentioned that we could have ledger lines below the staff, I'm sure you gathered this too, but you could add ledger lines above if you have a note that's too high, of course. And they would look just like that.
Like that. So now that we know how to use our ledger lines, how about I draw a pattern? I'm going to write in the Solfa letters for it. You can copy this down on your sheet of paper, and then Mr. Roberts is going to write in the note heads where they would go on the staff. So here is my first one.
All right, you take as much time as you need to. As always, feel free to pause the video if you need extra time. But I'm going to jump right in here.
Did you see that? He used a ledger line.
It was really fun.
Right there, really fun skill. I hope you're enjoying it. All right, here is my next one.
Ooh, they're getting longer. We've got 6 notes all of a sudden. All right, go ahead and take as much time as you need. Pause the video. I'm ready to take my try.
Does that look like what you got? We have another ledger line in there. All right, pretty cool. I'll do one more.
That's 8 notes. 8! All right, we'll try. Take all the time you need.
We got some pretty big intervals in that one, don't we? We start with a third, another third. This is a fifth. Now this interval, so to high do, if you thought about this, or maybe if you haven't, maybe it comes to mind that so to do, that space to line interval is the exact same interval as when we have low so to our lower do, not high do. So to do always looks the same no matter where it is on these lines. Pretty cool.
All right, let's continue with some writing. This time I'm going to give the cues, and I'm just going to reverse the process like we often do. Those of you who've been with us before probably know what to expect here. I'm just going to write in a melody, and you are going to be in charge, in this case, of writing in the solfa syllables below. So I'll come up with one here. All right, so I gave you a ledger line there. Let's see if you can read it.
All right. Reading ledger lines is just like reading off the staff. It's just lines and spaces still. I'm going to see what I think this is. Is that what you got?
Looks good. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can do another.
Here's another ledger line.
All right, I hope you're having some success here. Let's see if we can stump you, shall we? We'll do, I think, just one more like this. And I'm going to start way down there.
Wow.
Really covering ground.
Sure are. So now that one is a space and this is a line and they are a fourth apart. So this is do. Here's a fifth and another fourth.
Is that what you got? Uh-oh. Seems like Georgia's doing something different here. Do you recall learning about tas and takas? We learned about stems and beams, quarter notes and eighth notes. I see it looks like she's adding some rhythms to these melodies that we've written on the board. Just as a quick review, you'll recall that we learned about adding those stems to the pitches, and we also learned that when you connect two stems with a horizontal beam going sideways like that, that means that those are eighth notes, or taka, we were singing, and two of those take up the same amount of space as one quarter note, or ta. So I have a sneaking suspicion that Georgia's going to make us try to sing them in that way.
I'll just do one more over here.
There we go.
All right, can you read those? Let's just clap this one before, and you know what? I think this line is a little hard to see since it's blue. Now we know, that's that pattern. Okay. Let's try clapping this one and saying our tas and takas before we try singing it. So we're just gonna speak it, ta and taka. Off we go.
Taka, ta, taka, ta.
Is that what you got? Taka has this beam to connect it. Let's try singing it. We'll start on this note. Off we go. Do, la, so, do, so, mi. Looking at the next one. We'll start on the same note. We'll just clap this one first too. We won't do it for everyone, but just to get a quick review of those tas and takas. Can you clap this one with us? Off we go. Ta, 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 taka, ta. Pretty simple. Only one taka in that one. All right, let's try singing it. Starting on do. Off we go. Do, la, do, so, do, la, so, re. This is like real music. You're starting to read real music. We have rhythm, pitch. Moving right along, this one we're not going to clap it first. We're just going to jump right in with singing. If you need to pause the video quick, try and sing it on your own, and then sing it with us, go for it. Starting on the same do, off we go. Do, so, la, do, mi. Great job. Very last one we'll sing. Actually, we'll sing that one too. We'll sing this one first though. Starting on the mi, off we go. Mi, re, do, la, so. And very last, let's make these all tas, just to practice singing it, because those are big intervals, aren't they? We'll start on so, off we go. So, do, so, do. Did you get it? Well, I hope you had fun learning with us today, and now you know about low so, ledger lines. You read some pretty great music there, and I hope this helps you with all your singing in the future.